So one of the biggest things that was revealed in the first two episodes of The Last Dance with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls was how severely underpaid Scottie Pippen was during their championship glory three-peat years in which they had two of them, as he was literally being paid pennies on the dollars to the point where it felt like Pippen was working for Diddy. Number six on the Bulls in terms of payroll, ranked 122nd. How could that possibly be possible, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you did, because here in the Sports Opinion Log, LexAnderson World, the top 1%er, the People's Sportscaster, will break down to you how Pippen ultimately was his own worst enemy, which is why he was so severely underpaid. Let's go. Now, first things first, let's remember, this isn't 2020. This was back in the early 90s. The TV revenue wasn't as high as it is now, and players really were under control by their white slave master owners, okay? Number one. Number two, the rookie deals back then were 6 years. In today's era, it's 4 years, and by your third year, you're eligible to get more money. Now, what happened with Pippen in his case is that the original contract was actually 5 years at $18 million. But he did that early in his rookie contract, which was not revised, which led to him being paid pennies on the dollar. And something else stuck out, which I hope a lot of you caught. Pippen himself had said that his goal was to provide financial security and stability for his family, which is nice. But however, he rushed in to taking what would be one of the worst contract signings in NBA history because he himself had a negative view on his career because he wanted to get what he thought at the time was a big time contract in case he got injured. But of course, anyone who has lived to see Pippen play knows that he was very durable and he played a good amount of games. Bad move on Pippen's part. And also, let's pay attention to how his agent, his team, even the general manager, Jerry Reinsdorf, had advised Pippen to not take the contract. But Pippen did take the contract. So ultimately, Pippen only has to be mad at himself for stupidly taking, again, what was one of the worst NBA contract signings in history. While Pippen, who's still doing work for the nationwide sports leader, because clearly he needs the paycheck ultimately, because during the prime of his glory years with the Bulls, he wasn't paid adequately. So the sad reality is that in his 11 seasons with the Chicago Bulls, Scottie Pippen only earned 22.1 or $2 million and wound up getting in the last 5 years of his NBA career between the Houston Rockets and the Portland Trailblazers, he earned around $77 million. So that's great and dandy, but it's a damn shame that in the prime of his career, he never was paid his true worth and value with the Chicago Bulls, who took advantage of him, and his horrible agent, as he was very durable during the prime of his career and towards the tail end. Meanwhile, today's player, 100 million is fucking nothing. And that's why during playoff time, Pippen comes down hard on those so-called all-stars, those so-called superstars who don't come through for the big moments. And in honor of Pippen, I'm going to break down the NBA's biggest con here and why Pippen's hate towards today's athletes is more than valid. So here are the top 10 total NBA contracts and the players. Number one, James Harden, 6 years, $228 million. Damn, never won a fucking championship. Westbrook, $207 million over 5 years, never won a championship. Curry, 5 years, $201 million. Klay Thompson, 5 years, $190 million. But again, with Klay Thompson, that was an extension. And again, he's an NBA champion. Tobias Harris, who the fuck is that? 5 years, $180 million with the Sixers. Chris Middleton, a good second man on the Milwaukee Bucks. But who the fuck is he? I'll tell you who the fuck he is. 5 years, $178 million. Never won a fucking thing. Which leads to the next player, Blake Kia Griffin. 5 years, $171 million. Again, someone who's accomplished nothing. John Wall. Oh my God. 5 years, $171 million, which was also a contract extension, who will also not even be playing next NBA season if there's an NBA season. Durant with the Brooklyn Nets, $164 million over 4 years. And last but not least, my favorite player, CP3. I call him CP0. Again, no NBA championships, no NBA finals, but again, extended $160 million over 4 years. And I can see why Pippen is pissed. So with that being said, I can see why Pippen, even post NBA career, yes, he's the NBA top 50. Yes, he's a six-time NBA champion. You can't mention Jordan without Pippen. And you also can't say the word underpaid Scottie Pippen. It's just horrible. Let me know what you're thinking and how you're feeling about it. Make sure you're dropping a comment below. And on your way back up, like this video because it's the likes that keep the lights on here in the Sports Opinion Log. And of course, make sure you're subscribing and pressing the bell icon to stay notified for any and all upcoming future videos. Until next time, Sports Opinion Loggers and sports fans nationwide, Lex Anderson signing out.